see you.
Hi there.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you.
We're happy to be here.
Hi, you. Doug, are you there?
Yes, I am. You're loud and clear, Megan.
All right. Well, so number one, thank you. Thank you. No, I know. Me too. Thank you.
Yes, I am. You're loud and clear, Megan.
All right. Well, so number one, thank you. Thank you. All right. You guys, can you hear me? Because something just went kind of goofy.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're all here. Anyway, the point is I'm so excited that you're here. You're coming in from Israel, which is amazing. Doug and I are so honored to have you on our broadcast.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
I know, it's so fun. You've written 41 books. Doug and I don't understand how you can write so many books.
Right. Well, again, these are books for really little children. So they don't have a lot of words in them. I like to express big ideas in little words. That's my essence. Like, I talk about really deep stuff, but I explain it in a simple and joyful way. So children from the very beginning of their lives can learn like the basic wisdom to life, and they don't have to play catch up the rest of their lives. They could get it engraved on their souls early on in life.
Well, and you have great experience because you have 6 children, which is a total massive blessing to have 6 children.
Thank you. It is a blessing.
Yeah. So Doug and I could probably read your books and still learn something.
I hope so. Yeah, I say that, this is the secret of children's books. Guess who reads them? The little children and the adults that are reading it to them, and then grandparents, and then even teenagers. When no one's around, they'll pick up these little books and read them too. So it hits every single age. It's the only book where the message can go into every age of a person.
So how did you get into that industry? Like, how did you get into that space?
Yes, well, I wanted to write the books that I wished I had as a child. I wasn't brought up in a spiritual kind of way. Like, I would say to my father, who was a wonderful person, but I'd say to him, like, why is life worth living? Why do you want to live? And he'd say, it's like watching a TV show. I just want to see what's going to happen the next day, But I felt there was more. Like, what's the purpose to all this? So I was searching for years for that. What are we here for? What are we doing here on earth? And so my books are all, I say what they all have in common is they all help children's souls to shine. That's my goal. First, I didn't even know I had a soul. I didn't even know I was a soul. Recognizing that we're spiritual beings here on earth for a limited amount of time is something I didn't know, and I discovered as a young adult. So I'm giving this to children from the very beginning of their lives. That's what I'm doing in my books.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And so just really quick, because I'm going to ask you this like 10 times, but where can people find your books?
Well, the coolest thing is that I've always been giving my books to traditional publishers, submitting them. And now my youngest children, my youngest son and his wife, they said, no more. Stop sending your books to publishers. So I sent 40 of my books to publishers, and now they have started publishing my books. So they are the new publishers, and they are the new website. So they created a website for all my books so that they're all in one spot, and they're very excited about this. They want to spread my messages even further in the world, which is a wonderful feeling for me, that my children are very devoted to to helping to do that. Oh, so it's called getsbookshop.com because their last name is also Getz. So getsbookshop.com, and Getz is spelled a funny way, Goetz.
Well,
So
I'm gonna put everything in our podcast, but I think it's just incredible. And so I'm so thankful that your children are involved with you, because your message is really incredible. And, that's like my production company. My production company is Rocco Nicabella. Those are my children, because I'm going to build it and then they're going to take it over. And so
beautiful.
That it's so important. So I'm so glad that your children are involved, because you're like really, really amazing. Doug, can you hear me?
But how many people do you know in your life that have done what this lady has done in terms of accomplishments, writing books? I'm saying zero. I've known zero in my life, and I'm listening in awe to what you just described. And I remember as a young child picking up books. Maybe I wasn't even able to read them, but maybe there might have been some pictures giving me aspirations of what I could do or what I could become as an adult. And it was incredible. I mean, even some of the most basic children's books, they enlightened me. And you would see somebody that was, owning a farm or something like that. And you start to understand the value of relationships with people and being able to earn things over through your life, whether it be books or real estate or securities. I mean, all those sort of things start with the image of what you read in these books. So I'm really flattered that, you were able of these. And I can promise you, there's a lot of people out there that have looked at your books and used them as motivation to become somebody else's life.
That's beautiful. I love that. Right. The books, they get engraved on our soul.
Yes.
As children, that's exactly what happens. People don't realize how important it is to give over wisdom to young children. Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of people I know in my life. Some of them have accomplished great things. Other ones maybe have not. But I look at the ones that maybe have not accomplished great things, maybe have not had a good life, maybe their family structure was not good. I can almost promise you that those people did nothing in terms of reading and exploring who they could become. And it wasn't their fault. It was the people, it was their mother, their father, their family never really gave them the opportunity to just think big, think of beyond what they currently are. And we all have aspirations, but if we don't understand what it's going to take to get there, we're never going to get there. And that's why I always encourage my children. I only a boy and a girl, a daughter and a son. Every day I try to just put ideas in their brain about becoming something, doing something, accomplishing something. And they got the message, whether they liked it or not. I was feeding them the message every single day.
Yes, exactly. And two of my books are about the prevention of abuse. Because like you said, if there's neglect or abuse in childhood, it's really hard for your soul to shine.
Yes.
So these books, they've been real groundbreaking books in helping children to know what to do also. And of course, the parents learn more too from reading the books to the children, how to be aware and when children read these books, it's almost like an immunization. They're proactive, and so they don't get into these situations as much as children that are not been educated, so it's really important. I also have books about disabilities, because children with disabilities are usually the loneliest children around. They don't get invited to as many parties and play dates. And so the book about disabilities, it's called It's
I
actually
was just
called
gonna say, can you show us the book?
Yeah, Let's Appreciate Everyone. This book explains, like, if you see a child who is blind, go up, introduce yourself. It gives you guidelines, because people, what they do, what children do when they see a person with a physical disability is they stare, which is totally understandable because they're curious. But if there's another 5-letter word that also begins with S, if you smile, you can stare, but add your smile, and then you create a connection between you and the other child. So if you're blind, introduce the child who's blind. If the child is in a wheelchair, sit down on the same level as the person in the wheelchair. Don't be standing way above them. You know, if a child has a social disability, they're not joining in. You'll always see, not always, but a child who's playing on the side, they're not joining in. They're sitting by themselves, you know, when everyone else is engaged in a sport and they're not playing the game. Go over, say, would you like to join? It's encouraging you what to do. It gives you basic guidelines. So, and they may not want to join, but they'll still feel good that you asked them and tried to include them. You know, it just, sometimes people never explain to children how to interact more effectively. So all of these things help children's soul to shine. It helps the child with the disability to shine more, and it helps the child who doesn't have the disability for their soul to shine. And I have books about, like, healthy eating, because again, my background is in public health. If we have healthy bodies, that helps our souls to shine too. All of it is part of it. So my books are not only spiritual, like I have a book like The Invisible Book about all the things we believe in that are invisible. Like I dropped the book. There's an invisible force, gravity. We don't see it, but it has a big effect in our lives, you know? And what about our thoughts and our feelings? They're invisible. Yet we know, we see the effects of all these things. How does a magnet pick up a paperclip? There's an invisible force. So it's not that far-fetched to understand that we too are invisible forces in this world. We are spiritual beings, invisible, and yet it's making it clearer to children that there's so much we accept in this world: time, thoughts, feelings, gravity. The wind is invisible. We see the effects, and we see the effects of our souls in this world. So that's how I explain about physical things and spiritual things. And they're all the books are about helping our souls to shine in this world.
That's so incredible what you just said, Doug. I've never thought of it that way.
It's you don't think of it that way because you're not in that situation. I remember there was one particular person I went to grade school through, and eventually every year, whatever your grade was, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, there was usually something where parents came to the school one day, and or that you just in conversation with all the other students, you mentioned your mother and your dad. And you know what? There was one child in there that, had lost a father, I think in one of the armed services, and had a mother. But every time it came up, this family, you could tell that this person was kind of shirking over in the corner. They couldn't tell a story. They couldn't tell a story of having a mother and a father because they didn't have those. And they were just trying to get by, financially. And, it was half of a family. And I always felt so bad for that person because you could tell that every time that they had to get up in front of the class and talk about maybe their parents and get up there and say, well, I don't have a father. And, it's almost like it brought tears to your eyes. Even at that young age, you're just thinking, what if I didn't have a dad? what would it be like? And I couldn't even imagine what it would be like. And yeah, it's those sort of things, we take it for granted if we have, the nuclear family, but for those that don't, maybe either through some natural situation, like one of them passing away or the other one just making a decision, hey, listen, I don't want to be part of this family anymore. I'm going to just go out on my own. And, then the children and the parents, the mother usually are just left there fending for themselves. And it's heartbreaking. And even at a very young age, I remember at 7, 8, 9, I felt for that person that was in that circumstance and situation, getting up there, telling everybody, hey, I don't have a mom or a dad. And I mean, even at a young age, it brought tears to your eyes. And you really started to appreciate, just to be lucky to have some of those nuclear parts, which we all need to get through life and be a family and depend on each other and love each other. When those aren't in place, it's heartbreaking.
It's true. I even have a book about that. It's called I Lost Someone Special. It's about how can a child that loses someone special in their life, how can they still have a relationship with that person? Through doing good deeds in that person's memory, you can maintain that connection so you always feel like they're still a part of your life. This is a book for children about how to stay connected to someone that you've lost. Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna go online to your website and I'm gonna buy that book, because one of my best girlfriends, here in town, her husband, because I'm 52, he was 52, he passed away 12 weeks ago.
Oh gosh.
Her daughter is one of best friends of my daughter, they're 18 years old, and she's having a very difficult time getting through it because she saw it all happen. He had a blood clot basically, and it went to his heart. But the point is that I'm going to buy that book for her, because you are such an inspirational person. Like, you're so inspirational. Like, you have very special gifts. You're so inspirational and so amazing.
I just want to say, though, she's 18. No, the book is kind of written for
it's okay.
Little children.
It's okay, because she'll get the point. She'll get the point.
Wow.
Yeah, she'll get the point. But the thing is that it's because, again, I love your books also because they're pictures and short words. Pictures.
Yes.
Words. That's how I like to read.
I'm not a big reader. I never have been. I went to Harvard and I never liked to read. I like short things, Me
too.
Yeah. Even I got through Harvard, I'd read the beginning of the book and the end of the book, and I figured out what was in the middle,
Oh my gosh, that's exactly. So it's so funny. When I was interviewing, when one of the interview questions, when I was in the Miss Texas pageant, they said, what's your favorite book you've read? And I said, the newspaper.
Oh!
And they said, that's not a book. I said, to me it is. I said, if I read that.
Great. And you still won. And you won.
I was honest.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
No, I agree. All right. So give your website one more time for Doug and I, because I'm going to put everything in the podcast so that people can find you. And I'm so thankful your children are working with you and helping you. I think that's spectacular.
Thank you so much. Getsbookshop.com. So it's Getz is G-O. You don't hear the O. Goetz, bookshop.com. And also on there, you'll find you could download a free copy of The Pleasure Ladder. The Pleasure Ladder explains how to live a joyful life. And there's 5 rungs, and the price you need to pay to climb each rung is gratitude. Gratitude is the price to pay for a joyful life. So you can download that, also anybody, for free. And anyone, if you don't have money to buy books, I tell people, get the public library to order the books. It still gets the message out into the world. And that's the main thing. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's been such a pleasure to visit with you, Raka.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being in Israel and talking with Doug and I.
Yes, thank you.
Right?
It's great. It's great.
Someday when I come to Israel, if you're there, we'll have coffee.
Oh, lovely. I look forward to that. That would be amazing.
I've never been to Israel and I would love to go someday.
Yes, I hope you will. I told you it's the spiritual vortex. It's like no place else on earth. Yes.
Well, God bless
I bet
you.
Doug, have you been here to
No, I
Israel?
haven't. I've been all around there. I've been to Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, and
Wow.
so I don't, even though I haven't been there, I know somewhat the terrain, and I know just what a difficult situation it is, surrounded by countries that maybe aren't so friendly to you.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
You're aware of it every single day in your life.
Yep. Yep. But that's okay because, the Almighty can do anything. So
No
we're
doubt.
very, very grateful for every moment here. Yes.
Well said. Well said.
All right. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Okay. So always, guys, thank you to our fans that watch Doug and I. And now we're so excited to have these amazing people on our show. Like, we're so blessed. So thank you for watching. And Doug and I will continue to see you guys on a weekly basis. And remember, if you have questions that you want to ask Doug and I, you can email me at m@megaz.com, or you can text me at 424-288-1364. And Doug is extremely good at setting up questions and making it happen really fast. So thank you so much, Raka.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right.
Great meeting you. Great meeting you.
Pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.